Alright guys, so the next reptile I want to go over is the bearded dragon. So let's get it started. So unlike the geckos, they aren't nocturnal. They're active during the day. So they'll be up with you while you're up, and then they'll be sleeping while you're sleeping. If you're not a late person. On the other hand, like the gecko, like I said, if you are a night person, it might not be the best pet for you because they would definitely be sleeping. As soon as it gets dark, the lights go out. Even if I leave the lights on, the bearded dragons usually go to sleep around 9, 10 o'clock at night, regardless. So they're definitely daytime creatures. They're usually basking, soaking up the sun. Let me get her back. Another thing to consider with the bearded dragons is they eat every day, whether it's greens, veggies, fruits, or bugs. They do need food every day, and they will eat, especially the greens, because that's how they get a lot of their nutrients and vitamins, and a lot of their water source is from the greens. She sees the male, so she is kind of going crazy. Another thing is they're not very large. They're a little bit bigger than my hand. They need about 40, 50 gallon tanks when they're adult, which is they're definitely not a small lizard like the gecko, but they're not overly huge like a monitor or something. They're easy to handle. Which leads me to the next point is they're usually calm and chill. I could have this girl out literally all day and she will just pretty much stay in the same spot, especially if it's warm and comfortable for her. Right now she's kind of moving around because she sees the male. And yep, there he goes. He's freaking out because now he sees her. Alright, let's try to separate them. Alright, another thing is they are super active reptiles. Even though, like I said, they're calm and they're chill, they're always moving around their cage. If you have them out, they will move around, especially if you let them, or if you just put them on your lap on a chair or something. They'll just chill with you there. Like the biggest thing to consider with the bearded dragons is they do need two separate lights. They need a basking light. They need a UVB bulb, which means you need two different light fixtures, two different bulbs to pay for. UVB is usually on the more expensive side. So something to consider. It's a little bit more cost, a little more things to worry about and go through. Where are you going? Hold on, let me get her. So considering the lights, they also, since they eat every day, they poop a lot. They like to step in their poop. They like to move their poop around the whole cage. They're super messy. They get their collard greens everywhere, bug guts everywhere. You pretty much have to spot clean them, once a day, every other day. God, I'm really pissing off the male right now. So it takes time. They're not something easy you can kind of leave alone. You have to kind of keep up with them. They're definitely an active pet. You can do a lot with them, take them out. They like being outside when it's hot out. But it's definitely not a pet that you just have in a cage and you just leave it there. Don't worry about it. You kind of have it just to look at. It's an animal that likes to be interacted with. It likes being out. They're super friendly and calm temperament. Like I said, like the geckos, they don't bite. And they're really calm. When they're babies, they could be a little bit hyper like most reptiles. But they're still, really chill animals. Highly recommend the bearded dragon. This is good for anyone who wants maybe a little bit more responsibility, with the reptiles, have a little more activity with it, do more stuff with it. I definitely recommend a bearded dragon for that, for sure. They're kind of like a puppy dog. They just want to be out and pet. She will literally fall asleep on my chest sometimes or on my lap or wherever she's at and just take some naps. They're really cool to build a bond with, and I highly recommend it. There's a couple morphs, or I guess there's a lot of different morphs you can get. They're usually all cheap. This girl was about $100 at a Reptile Expo. You don't really see too many more expensive than that unless you get to the crazy morphs like all the other reptiles. But you can get normal ones for really, really cheap at the expo, probably like 20, $30. So they're kind of available for anyone. But you have to consider that even though the reptile, like I said before, is cheap, the upkeep is not cheap. All the bugs and veggies and fruits and veggies every single day, plus the heat bulbs and UVB bulbs, they go out all the time. You gotta replace them. That's like $15 for a heat bulb, $30 for UVB bulb, depending on where you get it. It can get costly. So make sure you have the money and resources to keep care of them, and they live a long time. And pretty much that's the last thing about bearded dragons I'm gonna say. Besides, variation in the diet is super important. So you want to be able to, get a couple different things for them: collard greens, kales, apples, grapes, bananas, superworms, crickets, dubia roaches, hissing roaches. You kind of want to switch up their diet, make sure they get a variety of it. Alright, guys, so I highly recommend the bearded dragon, kind of like the gecko. The only difference I would really say for the most part is one's active during the day, gecko's active during the night. She eats a lot more and a lot of different things. The geckos just eat the bugs, mealworms pretty much. You can just feed them mealworms for the most part. So yeah, guys, we're going to move on to the next thing, which is going to be, I think, the Savannah Monitor I'm going to do next, if that's the right pet for you. So it's probably going to be on the second part, but we'll see. Thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, I'll see you when I get to the Savannah Monitor. Alright, guys, welcome to the Savannah Monitor part of the video. This is going to be a little bit different than the other last two I did, the Leopard Gecko and the Bearded Dragon, because these are much different reptiles, a whole different caliber. Alright, so let's start with is the Savannah Monitor right for you? It is definitely not a beginner pet. As you can see, they get pretty large, they're highly intelligent, they need a lot of different food, they need a lot of space, so which I'm going to break down in a little bit, but they're definitely not a beginner reptile. Highly recommend if you never had a reptile before, you do not get a Savannah Monitor. I would stay away from it, even if you're an expert. They take up a lot of time. So let's get into it. As you can see, she's way bigger than my hand and my arm combined. She's about 3.5 foot long. He or she, sorry, I'm not sure exactly what sex it is. So they get really big, which also means they need a really big cage to live in. You can't really buy a glass tank that will necessarily fit him or her. The size that you need, I mean, I guess you can get like a 150-gallon tank, but like even then, it's still gonna be way too small for it. As you can see, just look how long her body is. She can barely fit in frame. Here's her cage I can show. It's 6 foot by 3 foot, so 6 foot long, 3 foot wide. I think like 5 feet tall or something like that. It gives them a lot of room to go up and bask. There's room down there. There's all dirt in there from the dig under, the food bowl, water dishes over there. So it's definitely the biggest thing to consider with the Savannah Monitors. One of the biggest things is the size. They need a lot of room. You can't really fit them in a small apartment. You definitely need to have a lot of room for them. They take up a lot of space. Not necessarily even just the cage, just when you have them out and about, they like to move around and walk. They need a lot of space to exercise. So that's the biggest thing to consider. Another thing to consider is a lot of, which I guess is a good thing and a bad thing, but they eat a lot of different foods, which is really important for them to get a bunch of different food, not just eat the same thing. They eat bugs, superworms, they eat ground turkey, they could eat fish like salmon or, flounder. They could eat rats, which is the main staple I feed mine, is rats and mice. I think that's just whole foods is just better for them, but this isn't really a care video, it's more stuff to consider. So unlike the smaller lizards and the lizards I just showed you, like the bearded dragon and stuff, they are extremely hard to tame, especially the Savannah Monitor. Monitors in general are hard to tame, but Savannah Monitors are really grumpy. As you can see, with a lot of work and effort, it can be done. This girl has never bit me. Yesterday I had her out and she hissed at me a little bit, but I also woke her up. So, you kind of just have to learn about the animal, what he or she likes. I'm not really going to go over the taming process because I have a video already on my channel. It's one of my earlier videos of, how I tamed her down. But it does take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of patience, and a lot of work. It's not something that you just get the animal and that's it. They're kind of like having a dog. They need a lot of exercise, a lot of space. And I guess this will lead into my next segment is, so unlike the gecko or the bearded dragon, this monitor could actually hurt you. This monitor could actually fuck you up. So let's say you did the opposite of what I did. and you left it in the cage all the time as a baby, you didn't handle it, you didn't hold it, you didn't tame it down, and it gets to this size, give or take, some get a lot bigger. I don't think this one's fully grown yet, but this thing, if it bites you, it has a very strong bite. It could really fuck you up. This tail is thick and powerful as all hell. It could literally whip you with its tail. It has insane claws. See if you can see them here. Focus. Which is the worst part in my opinion, because that shit fucking hurts. Even if it's not trying to hurt you, it's just climbing, chilling on your arm. They reach in your skin and they'll leave scratch marks. So yeah, there's something you want to consider. This animal can actually hurt you. It can cause you some pain. Granted, even if it does try to hurt you, you most likely won't go to the hospital or something with a Savannah Monitor. Maybe if it was a lot bigger, and a lot meaner, maybe. But I wouldn't take the chance. So if you're someone nervous around reptiles or something, do not get the Savannah Monitor. Now you might see this guy right here. You might see me touching his face, toning his tail, picking him up, moving. He's not biting, he's not hissing, he's not whacking me. This is not normal. This is not a normal Savannah Monitor, guys. I promise you. Granted, they are excellent animals. They can be tamed down. A lot of people just say avoid them altogether. They do make great pets once you get them tamed. But this isn't something that you just get on willy-nilly. It's something you have to plan. You gotta make sure you got the biggest cage, and etc. Savannah monitors also like to dig and climb. So along with the big cage, you gotta make sure it's vertical. You gotta make sure you have a deep amount of dirt. I think this is about a foot and a half maybe of just, no, it's probably about a foot because it's not all the way up to the top of just dirt and sand from the dig under. You get humidity, so you gotta make sure you have depth to different species of reptiles. You don't want to put this guy in with a leopard gecko, so that leopard gecko will become dinner or lunch or breakfast. I highly recommend only having one because they are a lot of work. They can live together from what I heard as long as it's not two males. I wouldn't recommend it because they could hurt us, they could hurt each other just as much, and we're not there all the time to separate them. This animal also is a perfect example of a cheap animal, but it's super expensive to keep. So you might go to the expo, see online that there's a Savannah Monitor for $25. It's so cute. It's so cheap, you have the money, so you're going to get it. Well, it is cheap, but you need the heat bulbs. Some people say you need UVB bulbs as well, like the bearded dragons. Personally, I haven't used a UVB bulb in about 6-7 months. You technically don't need it. I prefer just to give it, just to have it. I do need to pick one up for him. I have to get a whole new light fixture though, because the one side is broken and won't light the UVB bulb. The cage is super expensive. The cage cost me about $300 to make. If you buy one, it's even crazier. Food gets expensive for him. You want to make sure he's getting enough, food. He needs baths. So this is definitely an animal you have to invest in. If you're gonna, maybe you've had reptiles in the past and you just want one reptile, you don't want a dog or a cat, maybe the Savannah Monitor is right for you. I think most people who do get them regret getting them. They are a lot of work to tame. They could be scary. Like I said, I do not recommend necessarily for a pet. To everybody, there might be a select few people like myself that actually really enjoy working with them. But they're not going to make you money breeding. They're literally just a pet to have because you actually love the animal itself. I love Komodo dragons and other monitors, and this one was, Savannah monitors are pretty much the smaller monitors on the smaller side they can get. So that's why I decided a Savannah monitor. Maybe a couple years down the road, I get more experience with this guy. Maybe I'll get a bigger one if I have more space, like a water monitor or something. But for now, it's got this guy, and I don't want you guys to think that it's a terrible animal to have. With me saying everything, it's definitely not right for everybody. So let's move on to the last reptile I'm going to go over. And yeah, guys, make sure you're doing your research, your own research online and everything, watching other videos to see what animal is right for you. But we're going to move on to ball pythons, which is pretty much the last species of animal I have that I know a lot about. So we'll move on to that. I'm going to put this guy back, and we'll go over the last animal, guys. Alright, guys, so thank you for making it this far in the video. If you have, please sure to leave me a like and a subscription maybe. Really helps out with other people finding my videos. If there's something that I missed or you didn't like that I said, please let me know down in the comments. We're just here to try to make everyone more smarter, or is that even a word? Holy shit! Smarter about the reptile hobby, and that's all I'm trying to do. So guys, I really appreciate you watching. So let's go over the ball python. Is it right for you? The first thing we're gonna say is they're super easy to care for, like the leopard gecko. You can kind of leave them for a week or two, and they'll be fine without any attention. They poop. They usually poop kind of like a dog. It's easy to pick up, and clean. They're like a medium size. This is a full-grown male. He's about 900 grams. My females are about 1,500 grams. I do have ones like 2,000 grams. So I wouldn't say they're necessarily a small reptile, but where snakes are concerned, they're a pretty small snake. There are smaller snakes like milk snakes and corn snakes, etc. But if you want something with like a little body to it, something that isn't so tiny that you're kind of scared of breaking it, ball python is a perfect choice. I absolutely love these guys, not even just because they have a bunch of different morphs and stuff, but just their personalities are absolutely amazing. Never have to worry about getting bit. But with that being said, there are some ball pythons, kind of like Savannah monitors and every other reptile, if they're not handled enough often when they're younger or just often in general, they can be mean. I have a guy right now in this tub right here. It's in with a female who is an asshole. He tries to bite me and kill me every single time he sees me. We're working on it. So yeah, they're usually, most of the time, if you do the right work, they're calm. You don't gotta worry about getting bit or struck at or anything. They're usually really, really chill, which is perfect, especially for a first-time snake owner. A lot of people are scared of snakes. They're scared of snakes biting them. As you can see, I've had this guy for a really long time, kind of like the other reptiles that I showed you today. I've had this guy for about 6-7 years. He is the sweetest snake. He's never struck at me, never bit me. But I've also been holding him since he was a wee little baby. I literally have zero worries with him. Some snakes you have to, like blood pythons and etc. are kind of known to have a bad temperament, but ball pythons for the most part they're super friendly, which is super good. That's why I highly recommend it for a beginner snake. You really don't have much to worry about. They don't really need an excessive amount of space. Now you might see this guy and see how long he is. You might get, damn, he needs a big cage. I do provide big tubs for him in the rack system, but they really don't need as much space as you would think. Most of the time, if he's not out of the cage or not feeding, he's just curled up in a ball in the corner on the heat side, just chilling. They like to hide. They like to curl up in little tiny balls and little tight spaces. So they really don't need that big of a cage. Now I do recommend, if you have a cage that's maybe on the smaller size, you just upgrade it one, or if you just can't afford whatever, just take them out a lot. Take them out once a day, twice a day. Let them stretch out a little bit. They really don't need that much space. Some people will argue. Some people say they need a lot of space. Do your research. I keep them in racks. I've kept them in glass tanks with awesome plants and soils and all this stuff. The tanks look dope. I find them to be a lot happier in the rack, which is not really the point of today's video, just something I wanted to mention. You could check out my glass tanks versus rack video, which is one of the last videos I did, if you kind of want to see my opinions on the differences of them. A lot of the morse ball pythons are cheap. A lot of them are expensive, so there's kind of one for everyone. There's literally every single color you could think of. There's some that are all black and real dark. Some are literally even yellow and purple and gray. You can get ones that are like orange ghost, and they're like purple and orangish, and they kind of have like a ghost tone to them. There's different patterns. This is a spider. There's a bunch of different patterns and colors and combinations of both. They're super fun to breed for that reason. If that's something you're into, is breeding, they're kind of easy to breed to begin with. Which I'm not really gonna go over this video, but something to consider. They're pretty easy to find ball pythons. Every single reptile breeder for the most part breeds ball pythons. You can find them online. You go to a reptile expo, you'll notice that damn near every single table is selling ball pythons. They're so easy to find, so easy to care for. I highly recommend them. If you're scared of snakes, maybe you want to start with something like a corn snake or a milk snake, or a hognose. Hognose are really small, but those are kind of a little bit different. You might want to research those before you go out and buy one of those. But yeah, guys, like I said, also, if you're scared of snakes or maybe not the most confident, like this guy was, I think, 60 grams when I first got him 6, 7, 8 years ago. He was so tiny where even if he did bite you, it wouldn't hurt. From what I heard, even if these big guys bite you, it doesn't hurt. I've never been bit by ball python before, so I can't really tell you for sure. But yeah, when they're small, you're literally gonna be a lot less scared of them. And by the time that they grow up to this guy, you'll actually have no fear. One, because you're used to it, and two, because you've most likely been handling it, holding it, playing with it. What are you doing, silly boy? Um, so yeah, highly recommended. You'll definitely get used to the size. It's not even that big. Now that I was kind of nervous getting an adult ball python, when you first got fully grown. But now that I have one, I wish they would get bigger, to be honest. It's just awesome. Their size and their temperament. Highly recommend it. One thing I also want to mention, which I also have a video on, not to self-promote, but something for you to check out, is some genes, like the spider guy, the spider ball python, they do have some issues. So there are select genes that do have some issues. Spiders have what is known as head wobble, and this guy barely has it, but sometimes spiders they'll kind of crawl upside down, they'll lay upside down. Sometimes they're not good at striking the food. Personally, I still love the spiders. I don't think there's anything wrong with breeding them or keeping them. That's my opinion. There's a lot of people who actually hate them, who think they should never be bred because they have a trouble. I'm not even going to get into it. That's for the other video if you want to watch it. Also, watch a lot of people's videos on that because some people are biased, like myself. I absolutely love the spider. I've never had anything bad happen to one or have any that's been real bad with the spider wobble. So I am a little biased, like I said. There are a bunch of people out there have their own opinions, and I suggest you form your own. Spider is not the only gene who has some issues, or even just a species. Some reptiles in general, some morphs have issues, like the Enigma Leopard Gecko or the silky bearded dragon. Some of them are really bad. People put spider genes in with them. I personally don't. Like I said, that's my opinion. Not really the point of the video, but just something to watch out for in ball pythons or any reptile is Google the morph, and you can literally, if you Google spider ball python problems, you'll get 100 articles on everything you need to know. Make sure you're informed. It's because maybe you have a baby spider ball python and it is really bad. It's going to take some extra work, and maybe that's not something you want to do, so you might just want to get a normal ball python, which is cheaper, or you can get a whole different morph, past 500 morphs for you to choose from. Something for you to consider. So thank you so much for watching the video, guys. These are just the reptiles that I personally have experience with and would consider myself almost like an expert, just for how long I've been working with them and how many, and breeding and everything. Don't always take for my word for it, guys. Form your own opinions, watch other videos, look up online articles, ask friends, and really find the right reptile for you. It's worth it. You don't want to rush in and just get a reptile just to have a pet or have a reptile. Whichever one you pick is dramatically going to change your relationship with reptiles and how you feel about them. Every reptile is not for everybody, like I said. When I first started out, I absolutely adored and loved leopard geckos. They were my favorite reptile. But now as I grow older and more experienced, they're almost too easy for me. I still love the species. I love everything. I still breed them. But I'd much rather have something like the Savannah Monitor that is harder to take care of, harder to tame, more rewarding. And it's all based on personal preference. I obviously have both. I have about 15 leopard geckos, so obviously I love them. Most of them I don't even breed. I kind of just have them to keep. So yeah, guys, to sum up the video, is find the right reptile that you guys want. Find the right morph. If it's more expensive, it's worth it to save it. If you plan on breeding, I guess this is a different video, and I kind of have a video like this as well, but that's something else to consider, which species. I'm not really going to go into it, but for example, like I said earlier, everybody breeds ball pythons. Might not be the best choice for you, especially if you're in a big city or something where there's a lot of people breeding them. Even in like a little small area that I live in, I still have hard time getting rid of them. Not getting rid of them, but you know, sell them as pets, give them to new homes. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Like I said, it's probably gonna be a 2-part video, a 3-part video, or probably one long ass video. I don't know yet. Thanks for checking it out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.